Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the year again, basically. It's December, another Winter Games review in collaboration with Red Ribbon Reviewers. For those of you who don't know, basically, Red Ribbon Reviewers is where a bunch of us reviewers get together, and in our reviews, we help promote HIV and AIDS awareness through special charities. This year's charity we're shouting out is Broadway Cares, one of the nation's leading industry-based nonprofit AIDS fundraising and grant-making organizations that has raised over $300 million for essential services for people struggling with HIV and AIDS. Their mission statement, taken straight from their website, states the following: that they mobilize unique abilities within the entertainment industry to mitigate the suffering of individuals affected by HIV and AIDS. They ensure direct support specifically through social services and programs of the Entertainment Community Fund for individuals in the entertainment industry affected by critical health issues, including but not limited to HIV and AIDS. They support organizations across the country which provide treatment or services for people specifically affected by HIV/AIDS and their families. They promote and encourage public support for national and international programs and services that benefit people with HIV/AIDS. They increase public awareness and understanding of HIV and AIDS through the creation and dissemination of educational materials. They support the efforts of the entertainment industry to address other critical health issues or respond to an emergency. In each case, is approved by the Board of Trustees. And they support efforts by the entertainment industry and other charitable or education endeavors, in each case as approved by the Board of Trustees. For more information, please visit BroadwayCares.org. Thank you. Now on to the review. I promise I will eventually stop reviewing SSX games. After this one, there's only one more. But this is one that I've wanted to talk about for the longest time, and I wish it were under better circumstances, but unfortunately it's not, because, well, you'll see what I mean when we talk about the actual game itself. And given the up and down year I've kind of had, it's time to unleash some pain upon a game that has caused me pain when it first came out. So enjoy my review of SSX Blur. The year is 2007. All three new generations of consoles are out: the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Nintendo Wii, each of them having something different to offer. Today's game we're taking a look at involves what the Wii was offering: motion controls. You hear that? There goes the enthusiasm for today's game. At the launch window, some of the games had decent motion controls like Metroid Prime 3 and Zelda Twilight Princess. Others, not so much. And it breaks my heart to know that today's game falls into the latter category: SSX Blur. Developed by EA Montreal, making this the only game in the franchise to not be developed by EA Canada, and published under EA Sports Big label, the last in the franchise to do so, this game was released exclusively on the Nintendo Wii on February 27, 2007 for North America, March 15, 2007 for Australia, and one day later for Europe. While we've had 3 bangers in a row from Tricky to On Tour, well, the combo has been broken with this game. Blur is a very interesting case here, as this game, despite releasing after On Tour, is not a direct sequel. This game is actually set between SSX 3 and On Tour. There's really not any story here, but that's the least of this game's problems. Rather than the style setup in SSX On Tour of one mountain peak, we go back to the 3-peak system of SSX 3. As a result, this game plays out more like SSX 3 than On Tour, though it does keep the tournament system from On Tour. Essentially, you'll complete courses on the peak itself, which will open up tournaments for you to race in. When you complete a set of events, and tournaments for that matter, you'll unlock more courses. The other 2 peaks, other riders, and a whole bunch of other unlockable items. You'll also gain stats and what have you. There are also medal events that allow you to earn points to unlock more tournaments. You'll also be able to free ride like an SSX3 to explore the peaks, find challenges and collectibles. You can do a career with each character like SSX3. All the main types of events return from SSX3. Regular races, slopestyle, half-pipe, and big air all return. Regular races are point A to B. Slopestyle is point A to point B, but you get the highest score by doing as many tricks as you can. Half-pipe has you go for points on a half-pipe, and big air has you pulling off the craziest trick possible. There is one new type of event introduced here, Slalom. You try to get to the end of the course while going through every flag possible. It's a wonder why it took so long to introduce the event, but at last it's here and it works fine. All these events in the career mode itself can be done with either snowboard or skis a la on tour. The tracks are a mix of tracks from both 3 and on tour. Tricks work the same as before. Land as many to fill up your groove meter, and once you're at level 3, you can perform uber tricks. You can use boost afterwards to give you a boost. There's a new music mechanic here as well. The more tricks you land, the more the music will be more complete. You still do have that big air, fade out, landing on the ground, fade in effect, and this helps with encouraging you to keep doing better, even if the music doesn't have much variety. More on that later. Finally, you have snowballs instead of knockdowns to throw at riders. Otherwise, not much has changed. So everything I've outlined so far sounds like it's taking the best of SSX3 and On Tour and putting them together. Surely we should have a winner on our hand, right? Well, all that goes to hell the moment you actually have to control the game because the controls are all over the place. Because this was an early Wii game, we got to have motion controls, EA said, and well, why don't I just break them down for you? You'll use both the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Forward and backwards on the analog stick make you accelerate and brake respectively. Tilting the nunchuck left/right will help you control your rail balance and help with cornering. Flicking the nunchuck up will let you jump, while also in the air, holding Z and twisting the nunchuck left, right, up, or down will perform grabs. You'll use the Wii Remote to throw snowballs. Flick it up or down to do flips, and twist it side to side to do spins. Lastly, to do uber tricks, you'll move the Wii Remote and or nunchuck in a specific pattern depending on the trick, like a hard or a reverse Z. Remember how these things were so much easier in previous games? That's all gone now, and instead we get overly complex motion controls that don't always work all the time. Sometimes you'll flick and you'll get nothing. Even when you do get it to work, the game just becomes one giant waggle fest. You'll end up over-flipping or under-flipping and crash more often. Flicking the nunchuck up, I swear this is where DDI stole that crap for their platformers on the Wii. And no, you cannot use any other control method. No GameCube controller, no classic controller. Even other Wii games at launch had some of these options. Okay, not all of them had motion, but the option for regular controls would be nice. It'd be one thing if the controls were the only problem with this game, but sadly the problems don't end there. The graphics feel off. I know the Wii was not exactly a powerhouse that generation, but come on! Even 3 and On Tour's GameCube versions looked better than this, and the Wii was supposed to be more powerful. For starters, a lot of the models in general look weak, from characters not looking as sharp as 3, and even blurry in some parts, to other environmental textures looking weak. More aliasing in places where there shouldn't be. It just looks worse than 3 and On Tour. When it looks worse than past games on the same family of consoles, and the newer entry is supposed to be a next-gen entry, something has gone wrong. That doesn't even compare when you put SSX3 running on an Xbox One up to an Xbox Series X and compare it to this. It's not just the worser looking parts all around, even the aesthetics feel off. Compare the track designs of the same tracks seen in the previous games and notice the lack of detail in them. It just makes the courses here feel like cheap imitations of the older courses. On top of that, the character designs just feel wrong. Some of them look younger than they're supposed to, like Mac and Elise. Some of them are missing trademarks of theirs, like Kaori's brown hair, Simon's spiked hair, Zoe's red hair, and some of them just flat out look nothing like they're supposed to, like JP, Moby, Sky, and Allegra. Hell, Griff, and at least in his goddamn profile picture, looks like the unmasked hamburglar from the wacky adventures of...
Oh, my goddamn Donald!
It just looks awful. Like, no care was put into this. At all. The menus have a more generic design, everything feels too much cartoony and kiddie-like, and you have a game that aesthetically sucks. Even comparing it to 3 was more pleasant to look at with its more sleeker appearance, and even more colorful in some parts too. Don't even think you can customize. All you get are the preset boards and outfits. Where's the customization options, damn it? Everything just looks worse, and it just feels like it was rushed out the door to capitalize on the Wii launch window. On the plus side, some characters come back after having been absent. Moby and Griff return after being absent and on tour, and JP returns after having been absent in 3 and on tour. Except in the former, unless you count his cheat character appearance in 3, but that's more of a bonus. Sadly, not everyone made the cut. Nate Logan, Tyson Logan, and Sid are all missing. This relegates both Sid and Tyson to one-game appearances alongside Vigo Rolig from 3, and if you don't count cheat characters from 3, Jurgen, Hero, Eddie, Sia, Luther, Marisol, Brody, and Marty. Everyone else not mentioned returns from on tour. There are 2 new characters in the mix. Felix, a fun-loving guy with a soft spot for women and loves to go crazy on tricks, and Maya, a woman with Inuit heritage who can also pull off crazy tricks thanks to her inner peace. Both of their designs are fine though. Continuing in the aesthetically disappointing aesthetics, the lack of music variety. Past games had a mix of other various different genres, with a good variety of artists. Here there's only one artist, EDM DJ Junkie XL. You can guess the genre. While he's a good artist and has composed film scores like Mad Max Fury Road and Deadpool, and has had music appear in other various games like Matrix Path of Neo and Need for Speed Underground, and even had his remix of Fisher Spooner's Emerge appear in SSX 3, I miss the variety. While the music does fit here and it's not bad, but compare it to the other games' soundtracks. 3 had a good mix of rock, electronica, drum and bass, and rap. It also had artist variety. Andy Hunter, Overseer, The Chemical Brothers, Yellow Card, Nerds, Caesars, Kinky, Fatboy Slim, Autopilot Off, Basement Jacks, The Black Eyed Peas, before they went to shit. I could go on. That's not counting the cavalcade that is SSX on Tour's soundtrack, so I won't go into that here. Just watch my review of that game for my thoughts on its soundtrack. The sound effects are at least in place and work fine, even if they are recycled from previous games. I'd talk about the voice acting, but shockingly, there isn't much to talk about. I kid you not. The only real voice you hear in the game is Mark Hildreth back as DJ Atomica from 3. The playable characters don't even speak. You may have grunts from them when getting hit, but that's it. There is no trash talk during races, no quotes when selecting a character, winning a race, no rival cutscenes, no nothing! This strips the game further away from any personality it may have had a chance to have, and probably further enforces my belief that this game was rushed out for a quick buck. Without DJ Atomica's voice in game, you would have nothing but the white noise of snowboarding / skiing to techno music. You'd probably fall asleep playing it. Like past games, there is plenty of replayability with completing career with other characters to unlock their outfits and boards, and the other characters and tracks you unlock, but you aren't even told to how you unlock them. You just win a race and the game will just give you one whenever. SSX Blur was a complete letdown compared to the past 4 entries in the franchise. You can tell this was made by a B team because of its looks, its cheap aesthetics, the lack of music variety and personality, and worst of all, the controls just suck. Yes, you may have replayability, returning characters, good music, returning tracks, and new gameplay additions, but all of that doesn't matter if the game isn't fun. And sadly, this game is not. Revisiting it hurt because I remember the disappointment I felt when it came out, and all these years later it still stings. With the other games more easily available and more fun, I can't recommend SSX Blur to anyone outside of the die-hard fans, and even then, you'll want to get it cheap because I feel you will be disappointed. I hate to do this, but I have no choice but to give SSX Blur a 2 out of 5. Sorry to have to end things like this, but unfortunately with that, like I said, an up and down year I've had at the start of the review, I had to deal with these old frustrations, and it's kind of been therapeutic in a weird way. And despite this, I hope, even if you are having a up and down year, I hope you still have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, a Happy Holidays, just happy whatever the heck you celebrate. Oh, and hell, why not? Happy Heartswarming Eve and Heartswarming Day to my favorite film ship. I'll see you all in 2023. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, click the big red button below to subscribe. Check out the other links in the description for more cool stuff, and check out the playlist on screen for more content. See you in the next video.